Hey, Steve.
Hey, how's it going?
Where are we today?
We're in Fresno, California at Culture H20. So many of the viewers might not know this, but I actually grew up in Fresno, California, so I have a huge soft spot in my heart for this place. In fact, I view Current Culture as one of the biggest leaders in the hydroponic industry, and I love that they're from my hometown. I've not actually been into this new headquarters that they expanded into, just been to their old original location. So I can't wait to meet the team and see what they have going on in their new digs. Check it out.
Hey guys, welcome to Current Culture.
Hey, how's it going?
Come on in.
Steven.
I'm TC. Nice to meet you.
Nice
guys.
to meet you.
Right on. Awesome. Christian's back.
Christian's
They're
in?
going right.
Awesome.
Hey guys,
Hey,
welcome.
Christian, good to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah,
great
great.
to have you guys. Thanks for coming.
Great new office.
Thank you.
People working remote with all the stuff.
Yeah,
going
you know,
on.
typically we'd be buzzing in here, but with the pandemic, you know, we've got more people working from home, and so this is the state of the world we live in now.
Well, I'm sure you're still buzzing in the back.
Oh, absolutely. Let's go check it out.
Right on, cool.
Yeah, this is where it all started, the original undercurrent system. So got a handful of design and utility patents, as you can see, some trademarks on some of our brand names. Thank you.
After you.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We're standing in the middle of, well, not the middle, but we're standing in the front of an epic warehouse.
Yeah.
Much larger capacity than I'm used to seeing. I mean, tell me, what's the kind of the evolution? How did you get to this?
You know, so the quick origin story is our president, Daniel Wilson, my partner. Him and his wife started a retail hydroponic shop in 1999 here in Fresno, California. It was called Tower Garden Supply.
Okay.
And so Daniel and I started working together in the early 2000s. I was a client. And then as our relationship developed, I actually became the manager of that store. And so while I was the manager of the store, we were running a variety of different hydro systems in the shop. And it became apparent that all of them had limitations and inconsistencies, especially regarding like homogeneous pH and EC and just circulation issues. And so he had this idea for this recirculating deep water culture system. And so we built some prototypes, we started running it right there in the store, and then we eventually started offering it to some of our better clients, started getting a lot of great feedback, and it just really took off from there. So then we started offering it to more stores in California, and then that got us to a bigger platform, getting it to out of state, and it just kept growing from there. So we increased the number of configurations, the sizes, all the different parts and pieces that we make, and now we're 15 years later on a world stage.
Right. Well, from a consultant standpoint, so many people think it's easy to DIY a water culture system.
Yeah.
There is so much detail that's in your modules, let
Yeah.
alone the piping and the fittings.
Oh my God, there's hundreds of little parts and
nuance.
pieces and things that we've had to source from all over the world to turn it into something that is a system that you actually can just pull out of a box and put together. It's,
Right.
It's quite the evolution.
Yeah, it really is. Wow. I feel like this sets you apart too. The fact that you've carved out this space
Yeah.
for a nice showroom.
Yeah, so we don't grow any plants here. You know, this is more for research, product development, and really a showroom. So when people come, we can actually physically show them the parts and the pieces that we're offering.
Yeah. And you're flowing water through this.
We are. This is our flagship undercurrent system. So this is just a 4-site configuration. We've got it set up with what we call a remote epicenter. So typically the epicenter module would be here.
Right.
But all of our systems, we include a sleeve at the epicenter to allow somebody to place it on the outside of the grow space if they want to.
That makes sense.
So just a quick overview, this is recirculating deep water culture. So we've got an inline pump here that's pulling solution from the opposite end of the system, so it's negatively pressurized. And that's really what all of our patents revolve around, is that negative pull of solution, which is unique for hydroponics because I think most other hydroponics
You're pushing.
are positively pressurized.
Yeah, okay.
So we're pulling solution from the opposite end, it's returning to what we call the epicenter. This
Yep.
is the control module.
And this is where you dose fertilizer into?
Absolutely, yeah. So this is where you would meter, monitor. This is where you do your dosing. We've got a float valve here to maintain the water level. So the water's returning in here, but you see it's not filling up.
Right.
It's just getting
it's
pulled
even.
right back into the system.
So does level ground make a huge difference? Surely it does.
It is important, yeah, because you want to maintain a consistent water level throughout the system.
Right.
So in our mesh pot, we actually have pull this out of here. We have a little planting deck.
Yep.
So that's where you would set your rooted cutting, and then that's where we'd suggest running your water level.
So that design feature right there, the fact that you have the cone that comes up, that's nuanced.
It is, absolutely. And what happened was we were using a net pot previous to this that we didn't manufacture, and you had inconsistencies with planting depth.
Yeah.
And so
Oversaturation.
to standardize it, we added in that planting deck, so now people know exactly where to put their cutting, and then they know exactly where to set their water level.
I've been seeing this on social media,
Yeah.
and I think that is the coolest thing ever. So that allows for no medium.
Yeah, this is our brand new net pot insert. And so typically before the net pot insert, there would be a small amount of grow media that goes in the mesh pot. So it's not a lot, but it is a small amount of media that needs to be purchased, washed, disposed of. So it's a consumable that's moving through the facility. So what we did is we developed this net pot insert. It fits right into the net pot, and it holds a 3.75-inch neoprene collar. So this allows you to put your bare root cutting, your rockwool cutting, whatever it may be, right onto the planting deck, and then you just pop the collar in there with no grow media.
And that holds the plant in place.
Yep. Yeah, and so we still use the net pot because this provides the structure to keep the plant from wanting to fall
But there's
over.
no hydroton in there anymore.
No hydroton, no grow rocks.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've been able to kick the rocks to the curb,
Yeah,
which
that's
is exciting.
impressive.
It's been very well received by our growers.
These are 13-gallon modules?
These are 13-gallon modules, and this specifically is our 40-inch plant spacing. So this is our largest standard configuration. If somebody wanted something even bigger than this, they would go with that boneless spacing.
Sure.
But this is a system that we would recommend for growing large trees or primarily mother plants.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so there's your mother plants. So then after the mother solution,
Let's go all the way up to the front, actually.
Okay.
Let's not. Let's stay right here. So this is a variation of our high-pressure aeroponic cloning system, which I'll show you the standard version once we get up there. So you see in a couple different variations here. This one's on rolling benches. This one's on 2-tier racks. So this is a relatively new system for us. We've had it for about a year.
that's strong.
Yeah, and we have a version of a mobile bench up there that we can take a look at. And we really see more people kind of moving to that versus the standard rolling bench. But again, this is a great bridge in the middle to maximize canopy and square footage without making a massive investment. Yeah, so we try to give people a lot of options and just stay in tune and in sync with what cultivators are doing. So previously it was systems on the ground, now it's systems on benches, now it's systems on mobile benches, and then the next frontier is scaling to vertical.
Right. All right, so I've got my mother plants growing in the classic undercurrent system, then take my cuttings and put them in the system here?
Yeah, so this is our high pressure aero cloner. HPAC for short, HPAC. So this is pretty much exactly what it looks like if you purchased it. It comes with the pump station, it comes with the reservoir, comes with the rack, it comes with the lighting. It's a complete turnkey commercial propagation system.
Yeah, that's great.
So again, it's based on this multi-mod commercial chamber. The way we design it is it has a little base that sets it up.
Oh, that's right.
And then it has a recessed well here. So that allows all the solution to drain to one central point. And let me just kick this. Oh, it's gonna come on here in just a second. I'm gonna pop the lid.
That's a really smart design change. I like that. Oh, wow, that's a really fine mist.
So you can see it puts out a really fine mist. So the recommended cycle time on this is around 15 seconds every 5 minutes. Okay. So it just uses a tiny volume of water.
Well, even the nozzles you're using are different. They're not those classic 360 jets.
Yeah, so that's a unique spray head that allows us to get that really fine mist. Like I said, it operates at around 85 to 90 PSI, so we consider that high pressure. versus most of the other systems use like a typical water pump and operate at a very low pressure.
Right.
We've incorporated the permaclone inserts on this just for longevity and sustainability.
So say I want to expand this system. Does your pump, is there a VFD capability on that pump that it obviously, increases its PSI?
This is the pump station for the HPAC system.
Uh-huh.
And so we offer this from a 210. So each one of these chambers holds 105 sites. So 2 of them would be 210. What you're looking at right here is a 420.
Okay.
And then this scales all the way to 1,680 sites on the same pump station. Yeah.
Wow.
So somebody could buy this system today and then grow it all the way up to a 1,680 site, which would essentially, this is an 8-foot wide rack that would go all the way to a 32-foot long rack.
Wow. Okay.
2-tier.
Very impressive. And I like that they're linked together so they can share the same solution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the big problems we felt like we were solving with this is, at scale, we see people with easy clones or turbo clones, and they have, 20 of them, and they're managing each one of those systems independently. And so what this does is it centralizes all of the solution. I mean, this is a very small volume of water that is operating all of these units. So from a maintenance standpoint, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then, same deal. You manage metering in there, dosing of fertilizer in there, water temperature control there.
Yeah, it all happens at one point, so you don't have all these independent systems. And then the same principles that apply in our undercurrent systems, we have a clean-in-place strategy that somebody could employ here, so they're not taking every single thing apart and scrubbing it.
So I got my mother plants, I take my cuttings, I put them in the system.
Yep.
The very fine mist, I'm sure, makes very beautiful feeder roots.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but yeah, the quality of the cuttings produced in this system is far superior to standard aeroponics system. So you get, because of that fine mist, you get those really fine root hairs, which translates into a better start. It's going to take off faster once it goes into the system.
And you don't have the pump sitting inside the unit, so it's not heating up the water temperature. That's brilliant. That really is. So once these things are rooted, now how do I transfer them to the system?
All right, so this is a new product for us. It's our high pressure transfer cart. And so this basically holds, this is battery powered, so it can move freely throughout the facility. So you would take your entire lid off of this system with all your rooted cuttings, pop it on the transfer cart, and then we would roll this, it's in a lock position, but we would roll this right out to our bloom system and then populate our systems right in the room.
Wow.
So it's highly efficient, kind of eliminates those multiple transplant steps and the necessity for having like a defined transplanting area. And this is really the approach that we foresee more cultivators gravitating towards in the future.
It's streamlined.
Yeah, it's very streamlined.
I mean, you're transplanting plants faster, cleaner. I mean, eliminating the medium, all the dust. It's pretty darn cool. So then generally this strategy probably caters more toward like a veg-in-place type situation.
It does, yeah, and that's really the way we're pushing more people. So we've benefited and felt the drawback of having too many options over the years. I know we just talked about growing large plants and trees, and so as laws change and as people's preferences change, we've really tried to streamline our cultivation approach. And part of that streamlining is recommending more of a veg-in-place strategy. So keeping the veg time as short as possible, moving the plants without too many transplant steps, eliminating potential transplant shock, eliminating the necessity to clean veg systems and maintain plants in those spaces, repurposing those veg rooms potentially as more flower rooms. That all has kind of played into this new veg-in-place approach, or what we call VIP.
Okay.
And that's the way we really foresee more of our commercial cultivators moving towards in the future. And it opens the door for automation. So because the system is centralized, because it's recirculating, it really teams well with automation.
It definitely does. It definitely does. Well, is there anything that we didn't talk about here in this demo area? I mean, I know that we have...
Let's go right over here. I want to show you some of our fertilizers.
Okay.
Talk about our fertilizers a little bit, and another new product that we have that just rolled out.
You guys are always coming out with new stuff, I tell you what.
This is our brand new UC SoloCom professional single module deep water culture system. Kind of the hallmark. So this is our Culture Solutions fertilizer line. My hands are like ice. I do want to mention that system there. Should we do that now and just kind of cut it?